Dengan izinnya Arif, pendengaran permohonan untuk menerima masuk dan mendaftaraikan Pempetisyen sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara di Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya secara sidang video. Dengan izinnya Arif, perbicaraan mahkamah pada hari ini dijalankan secara sidang video atas persetujuan semua pihak berikutan Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan. Seterusnya, mahkamah ingin mengingatkan semua pihak agar kekal di kedudukan masing-masing dan tidak menutup video walaupun setelah selesai giliran. Diminta juga kerjasama tuan-puan agar tidak melayari live streaming di YouTube berdekatan tuan-puan di dalam bilik yang sama semasa prosiding sedang berjalan kerana dikuatiri akan mengganggu sistem rakaman audio. Hakim yang bersidang pada hari ini ialah Yang Arif Hakim Wan Ahmad Farid bin Wan Salleh. Dengan izinnya Arif, Pempetisyen pertama, nombor Pempetisyen WA18-282-03-2021, Sherina binti Khairul Suman. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Sherina binti Khairul Suman, Pempetisyen pertama.
Persilakan Puan Eileen.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Aileen Osman, Peguam Pengusul yang mewakili Pempetisyen pertama, Sherina binti Khairul Suman. Rakan-rakan saya yang bijaksana, Tuan Muhammad Ashraf bin Shah Sahabuddin bagi pihak Peguam Negara, Encik Iskandar Putra bin Ishak bagi Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Encik Mahindran Naidu, anak lelaki Rama Santanam bagi Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya mohon kebenaran untuk meneruskan ucapan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Persilakan.
I'm obliged, my lord. My lord, allow me to introduce your petitioner, Miss Sherina Khairul Suman. The petitioner was born in Kuala Lumpur and is the only child to her proud father, Mr. Khairul Suman, who is behind the screen witnessing her success, an achievement which resulted from his sacrifice, having raised her as a single parent since the petitioner was 4 years old. There are many things a father can do to teach his daughter, but her father, who knows he is bound to carry out the duty of both parents, has to find a balance between strength and compassion to raise his child, enabling her to achieve her dreams and to be the first in her family to be called to the Malaysian bar. The petitioner was inspired to become a lawyer at the age of 4, having known a good lawyer who fought for her and granted her father the opportunity to raise the petitioner to be the person she is today. My lord, the petitioner realizes she was laughed at during kindergarten when she said her ambition was to become a lawyer. They were certainly not to be blamed, as no child remembers what ambition they committed to at such a young age. But to the petitioner, her mind was certain as to what she wanted to be for the rest of her life. The petitioner never wavered in her ambition and continued to grow towards it by successfully completing the required qualifications in order to be called to the Malaysian bar today. The petitioner strongly believes in the quote by Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, "So often in life, things that you regard as an impediment turned out to be great good fortune." The petitioner hopes this inspires those following in her path to pursue a legal career and never to give up on their dreams on becoming a lawyer. The petitioner successfully completed her LLB at Cardiff University in the year 2018 and was successfully conferred with the BPTC and master's degree at City University of London in the year 2020 and 2021 respectively. The petitioner thereafter commenced her pupillage at Shern Delamore and Company under the tutelage of Mr. Koo Yin Sim. On this memorable day, the petitioner would like to thank her father for his endless sacrifice and love and the motivation that he has provided to the petitioner. Mr. Khairul is the reason the petitioner is fighting for her dreams when times were tough, and he encouraged her to carry on no matter how challenging the journey was. The petitioner would also like to thank her grandparents for their unwavering support and faith in the petitioner's ability to achieve her dreams. The petitioner believes her grandmother's cookings and hugs were the reason she was able to garner her strength before every examination. The petitioner would like to thank her pupil master, Mr. Koo Yin Soon, for every heartfelt advice, and in particular his advice not to give up, no matter what. The petitioner thanks every partner, associate, and support staff who have patiently guided her during the course of her pupillage. She would also like to thank her pupil mates who were constantly there to provide support and guidance when required. The petitioner would like to thank her friends whom she's blessed to have crossed paths with, Farah, Hayati, Jason Kang, Hedi, Fazli, and Afif, for their support through this journey and for being her guiding light. The petitioner will also not forget her pets for being her pillar of emotional support. Finally, my lord, the petitioner would like to thank Mr. Benjamin Dawson for inspiring her to focus her masters on money laundering and terrorism financing. Mr. Benjamin Dawson rightfully advised the petitioner to complete her LLB at Cardiff because their Welsh markets are beautiful, and she certainly couldn't agree more. Yeah, my lord, I believe the papers are in order and that the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of the High Court of Malaya, and that the relevant bodies have no objections to this petition. Dengan demikian, Ya Arif, saya memohon supaya Pempetisyen Sherina binti Khairul Suman diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Izin Yang Arif, negara tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana pihak-pihak tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan dan oleh kerana kertas-kertas tausa adalah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Sherina binti Khairul Suman sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Sherina binti Khairul Suman dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya memohon kebenaran Mahkamah yang mulia ini untuk Pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri, Yang Arif.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
Tanya.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Pempetisyen kedua, nombor Pempetisyen WA1828403-2021, Ezra Ravin Ponudurai. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Ezra Ravin Ponudurai, Pempetisyen kedua.
Dipersilakan Ms. Gita.
Terima kasih, Arif. Dengan izin Ya Arif, saya Gita Kesavanaya, hadir sebagai peguam pengusul bagi pihak Pempetisyen kedua, Ezra Ravin Ponudurai, pada hari ini, dan rakan-rakan bijaksana saya, wakil-wakil dari Jabatan Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur seperti mana yang telah diperkenalkan sebentar tadi. Ya Arif, saya memohon kebenaran Ya Arif untuk meneruskan hujah saya di dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dipersilakan.
My Lord, may I introduce the petitioner Ezra Ravin Ponudurai? The petitioner was born on the 29th of September 1997 and is the eldest child of Mr. Suresh Ponudurai and Mrs. Jana Ponudurai. The petitioner wishes to relay his gratitude for the great sacrifice and love from his parents and grandparents, through which he was provided the opportunity to follow his passion in the legal field and read law in the University of Aberystwyth, Wales. The petitioner was subsequently provided with the opportunity to complete the bar professional training course in London and has been called to the bar by the Middle Temple. The petitioner was exposed to various cultures and made friends that are relied on for the advice to this day. On this day, the petitioner wishes to convey his utmost gratitude to all his pupil mates, friends, and loved ones who have helped him along the way. Each individual over the years has played a large part of his life, and without their love and selflessness, he would not be where he is today. The petitioner would like to thank his master, Mr. Swaran Singh of Law Partnership, who provided him with an opportunity for pupillage at the firm, and Mr. Raphael Tay for his steady guidance into the world of corporate law. Gratitude is also extended to his colleagues at Law Partnership, whose guidance and patience will be carried with him on his legal journey. The petitioner is also extremely grateful for the mentorship and guidance of Mr. G.K. Ganesan and his mover today, Ms. Geeta, lawyers and staff at Mrs. G.K. Ganesan for welcoming him into their family and constantly being a guiding light. The petitioner would like to extend his gratitude for the support and prayers of his paternal grandparents, Jayaratnam and Nolene Ponudure. The time spent living under their roof is cherished greatly. The petitioner would also like to give a special mention to his maternal grandfather, Mr. Balasingham Elapan, for all his love and care. He was called home yesterday to join his wife and is undoubtedly watching from above. Ya Arif, I believe that the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of this honorable court. I believe all the petitioner's papers are in order and that all my learned friends from the Attorney General Chambers, the Bar Council and the Kuala Lumpur Bar Committee respectively have no objections to this motion. Saya memohon kepada Mahkamah yang mulia ini untuk Pempetisyen kedua, Ezra Ravin Ponudure, diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Izin Yang Arif, Jabatan Negara tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana pihak-pihak yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan dan oleh kerana kertas-kertas kausa adalah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Ezra Ravin Ponudure sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Ezra Ravin Ponudure dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Terima kasih Arif. Pohon kebenaran mahkamah untuk Pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Tanya.
Terima kasih Arif.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Pempetisyen ketiga, nombor Pempetisyen WA 18-51004-2021, filial Lim Sin Yi. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Filia Lim, Pempetisyen ketiga.
Dipersilakan Cik Austin.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Austin Pereira. Saya adalah peguam pengusul yang mewakili Pempetisyen ketiga. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang mewakili Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur telah diperkenalkan kepada Yang Arif. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya memohon kebenaran Yang Arif untuk meneruskan prosiding dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dipersilakan.
My Lord, may I introduce the petitioner, Ms. Filia Lim. The petitioner was born on the 29th of August 1997 in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. She read law in University of Leeds and graduated in 2019. She went on to pursue her bar studies at City University of London and was called to the Honourable Society of Inner Temple in 2021. The petitioner then commenced her pupillage at Messrs. Edwin Lim and Surin under the tutelage of Mr. Edwin Lim. To start, my Lord, the petitioner would like to thank her pupil master, Mr. Edwin Lim, for being such an easygoing and kind pupil master. The petitioner very much enjoys their chats, where Mr. Edwin Lim would give the petitioner valuable life advice, as well as various gastronomical recommendations. The petitioner is truly grateful for her pupil master. The petitioner would also like to thank Ms. Yasmin So, for she has taught her so much throughout the course of her pupillage. Ms. Yasmin So, being one of the most patient individuals the petitioner has ever known, had continuously answered all the petitioner's questions, taken care of the petitioner's well-being, given the petitioner the chance to assist on files, and so much more. The petitioner would also like to thank Mr. Peter Sue The petitioner is grateful that Mr. Peters Yu has given her the chance to work on her advocacy skills and has been so supportive of the petitioner. The petitioner is forever grateful that she has had the chance to learn and work from Senior Counsel and retired Federal Court Judge Dato Sri Gopal Sri Ram. The petitioner considers it a singular honor having been able to observe Dato Sri Gopal Sri Ram in court. And my lord, on a personal note, given that Dato Sri is my partner in charge and I work for him, I must attest to that, and he's arguably the best senior counsel that I've ever witnessed in court. The petitioner is also grateful for her friends, Emma, for always lending an ear to the petitioner, Juliet, for always being such a genuine friend, Louis, Johan, Jonas, Patrick, Tan Lung, and Erwin for always welcoming her back home. Wendy, Andrea, Jen, Ginny, Nicole, Charmaine, and Wenzu for making her time in university and bar school so memorable. The petitioner's days in London and Leeds are the ones she would cherish and keep dearest in her heart. And to Wenzu and Soraya, whom are also getting called today, as I understand, she would like to take this chance to congratulate them too. The petitioner would also like to thank her colleagues and pupil mates, Sudha, Anna, Nur Holifa, Amir, Yuan Ling, Lavanesh, Lini, Hari, Amelia, and Fadzil. That's a lot of friends and a lot of colleagues, I must say. Last but certainly not least, the petitioner with all her heart wishes to extend her utmost gratitude to her family. The petitioner would not be in this very Zoom call if it were not for her father, Thomas Lim, and her mother, Jennifer Chong. The petitioner is grateful for her father for he has sacrificed so much for the petitioner just so that this day could happen. The petitioner is grateful for her mother as she has shown the petitioner what unconditional love is. The petitioner is extremely grateful for the sacrifices her parents made to ensure that the petitioner was given the highest quality of education and all the opportunities that her parents would have afforded her. The petitioner would like to express her love to her parents because all the petitioner is today, she owes it both to her parents. And I would attest to that, my lord, all we are today are to our parents. The petitioner would also like to thank her little brother, Jasper, who has made her move from Kota Kinabalu to Kuala Lumpur a lot easier. Even though he is the youngest sibling, he has taken such good care of the petitioner. The petitioner appreciates her little brother and is glad that her little brother has and continues to be by her side for this. The petitioner would also like to thank her extended family back home in Kota Kinabalu, her grandmother, aunties, and uncles, as well as all 7 of her cute little cousins. Drafting this speech for the petitioner, I must say, has forced the petitioner to reflect on her journey of finally becoming a quote-unquote lawyer and the people who have played a part in this little journey of hers. From an A-levels law lecturer who just wanted to teach and not practice, to Dato Sri Gopal Sri Ram, who is the very definition of hard work, brilliance, and skill. The petitioner has attempted to complete this speech several times, but has failed because she would end up in tears after drafting a few paragraphs. There is so much more the petitioner wishes to say, but alas, even Grammy and Oscar speeches are time constrained. The petitioner just hopes that every person mentioned in this speech knows that she's genuinely grateful for them. My lord, I humbly submit that the petitioner is of good character and is a fit and proper person worthy of admission to the bar. I believe the petitioner's papers are in order and there are no objections from my learned friends from the Attorney General's Chambers, Bar Council and the KL Bar Committee. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya memohon kepada mahkamah yang mulia ini agar pempetisyen Ms. Filia Lim Zin Yi diterima masuk dan didaftar sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih. Kerana kertas kausa teratur dan oleh kerana badan-badan yang relevan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan Menerima Masuk Filia Lim Zin Yi sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Filia Lim Zin Yi dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh Mahkamah Pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon kebenaran mahkamah yang mulia ini untuk Pempetisyen menjubahkan diri sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Tahniah.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Pempetisyen keempat, nombor Pempetisyen WA 18-590-05-2021, Song Pin Wen. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Arif, nama saya Song Pin Wen, Pempetisyen keempat.
Silakan Cik Steven.
Thank you, my lord. Dengan izin Arif, saya Steven Chok hadir bagi Pempetisyen keempat, Song Pin Wen. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili yang berbahagia Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur telah pun diperkenalkan sebelum ini, Yang Arif. Dengan izin Arif, saya ingin memohon kebenaran untuk berteruskan dalam bahasa Inggeris, Yang Arif.
Dipersilakan.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, may I introduce the petitioner, Song Pin Wen. Petitioner was born on the 20th of May, 1998 in Klang, Selangor, and is the eldest child of Mr. Song Sun Kun and Miss Tan Lei Hong, my apologies. The petitioner had her early education in SJKC Pui Ying before continuing her secondary education in Ping Hua High School in Klang. Petitioner read law at the University of Nottingham Trent and continued to pursue her bar studies in the BPP University, Bristol. Upon completion of her bar studies, petitioner commenced pupillage at Messrs. Azrul, Liu and Co. under the tutelage of my learned friend Miss Liu Xiying. My lord, on this special occasion, the petitioner wishes to take this opportunity to express her utmost gratitude to her parents for their unwavering support and encouragement, without which all of this would not be possible. Petitioner would also like to dedicate this special moment to her parents who are currently watching live on YouTube. Next, the petitioner would like to thank her pupil master, my learned friend Miss Liu Xiying, for providing her the invaluable opportunity to practice, explore and experience the work and life of a legal practitioner as a pupil, whilst being so ever forgiving and allowing the petitioner to learn from her mistakes. For this, she is eternally grateful. Petitioner would also like to record her gratitude and appreciation to another partner of the firm, my learned friend Mr. Azrul, as well as everyone else in Messrs. Azrul, Liu and Co. for all the support and guidance provided to her during her pupillage. Petitioner would also like to thank some of her close friends, Ying Ying, Siu Woon, Cindy Tan, for all the love and support given to her throughout the years, and that she appreciates her friendship with them. My lord, after having spoken to the petitioner for an extended time and getting to know her, I'm convinced that she has the right attributes and that she is definitely qualified to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of his court. I also believe that the course papers are all in order, my lord, and that my other friends from the relevant bodies have no objections. As such, I humbly pray for the petitioner to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of the High Court of Malaya, my lord.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jabatan Negara tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan dan oleh kerana kertas-kertas kausa adalah teratur dan Pempetisyen adalah seorang yang layak di bawah Akta Profesional Undang-Undang, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Song Pin Wen sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Song Pin Wen dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Terima kasih, Arif. Dengan izin Arif, memohon kebenaran untuk Pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Tahniah.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Pempetisyen kelima, nombor Pempetisyen WA18-63905-2021, Muhammad Faizul Izzuan bin Muhammad Nordin. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Muhammad Faizul Izzuan bin Muhammad Nordin, Pempetisyen kelima.
Silakan Penur Amalina.
Yang Arif. Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Nur Amalina binti Haris, Peguam Pengusul bagi pihak Pempetisyen kelima. Bersama-sama saya rakan-rakan saya yang bijaksana yang masing-masing mewakili yang berbahagia Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Peguam Kuala Lumpur yang telah diperkenalkan sebentar tadi. Yang Arif, izinkan saya memperkenalkan Pempetisyen Muhammad Faizul Izzuan bin Muhammad Nordin yang merupakan anak sulung kepada Encik Muhammad Nordin bin Nawi dan Puan Rozila binti Hassan. Pempetisyen telah memulakan pendidikannya di Sekolah Kebangsaan Bandar Putra dan kemudiannya di The Malay College Kuala Kangsar MCKK. Kesedaran Pempetisyen terhadap minatnya untuk menjadi seorang peguam timbul sewaktu Pempetisyen aktif dalam pertandingan bahas waktu di sekolah. Di dalam pelbagai konflik dan isu-isu semasa yang diperdebatkan sewaktu pertandingan, Pempetisyen mulai sedar bahawa tiada perkara yang lebih penting melainkan kedaulatan undang-undang dan melalui kesaksamaan pelaksanaan undang-undang jugalah yang mampu menghadirkan penyelesaian terhadap apa-apa sahaja isu. Dan daripada minat yang mula mendalam tersebut, Pempetisyen telah memulakan persediaannya dengan mengambil ijazah sarjana muda di undang-undang di Multimedia Universiti Melaka. Pempetisyen merupakan seorang pelatih dalam kamar kepada Dato Edlin bin Ghazali di Tetuan Edlin Ghazali and Associates, dan sepanjang tempoh latihan dalam kamar, Pempetisyen telah menghadam setiap perkongsian ilmu, pengalaman dan disiplin yang diperoleh daripada masternya Dato Edlin dan gurunya Puan Farihah yang telah menghibahkan banyak haluan dan pedoman berguna buat Pempetisyen. Terima kasih yang tidak terhingga Pempetisyen ucapkan buat semua, termasuklah semua rakan sekerja di Tetuan Edlin Ghazali dan Associates. Yang Arif, Pempetisyen amat bersyukur kehadrat Ilahi kerana atas izin dan kehendaknya Pempetisyen berada di sini dan Pempetisyen berwaad untuk sentiasa menjalankan tugasnya sebagai peguam dengan sebaik mungkin. Pempetisyen juga ingin meraup kesempatan ini untuk berterima kasih kepada mak dan ayah tercinta Encik Muhammad Nordin bin Nawi, Puan Rozila binti Hassan serta adik kesayangannya Nur Ezzati binti Muhammad Nordin atas imbuhan semangat dan dorongan tanpa putus walaupun ada ketikanya semangat Pempetisyen untuk berjuang menjadi gugup dan layu. Namun begitu, keluarganya sentiasa membaca kembali motivasi Pempetisyen dan hari ini Alhamdulillah pokoknya sudah mula berbuah. Terima kasih juga Pempetisyen layangkan kepada sahabat-sahabatnya iaitu Mir Yeman, Daniel Falik, Icha, Nina, Angeline, Amira, Dania dan Shah yang kerap membingkiskan sokongan moral kepada Pempetisyen. Dengan itu Yang Arif, saya sesungguhnya percaya bahawa segala dokumen dan surat secara Pempetisyen adalah lengkap dan teratur dan Pempetisyen adalah seorang yang berkelayakan untuk menurut Akta Profesion Undang-Undang 1976. Saya juga percaya bahawa rakan-rakan saya yang bijaksana tidak mempunyai sebarang bantahan terhadap petisyen ini. Oleh itu Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon daripada mahkamah yang mulia ini agar Pempetisyen diterima masuk dan didaftarai sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Kuasa Peguam Negara tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana badan-badan yang relevan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan dan oleh kerana kertas-kertas kausa adalah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Muhammad Faizul Izzuan bin Muhammad Nordin sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Muhammad Faizul Izzuan bin Muhammad Nordin dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. Dengan itu saya ingin memohon kebenaran mahkamah yang mulia ini untuk Pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Tania.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Pempetisyen ke-6, nombor pempetisyen WA18-661-05-2021, Kirtan anak lelaki Subramaniam. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Kirtan Subramaniam, Pempetisyen ke-6.
Dipersilakan Encik Chang.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Chang Tian Yu. Saya adalah peguam pengusul untuk pempetitioner Encik Kirtan anak lelaki Subramaniam. Yang Arif, saya turut hadir hari ini adalah rakan-rakan bijaksana saya, iaitu wakil-wakil dari Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan juga Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur yang mana telah pun diperkenalkan nama masing-masing kepada Yang Arif sebelum ini. Yang Arif, if I may, Yang Arif, can I proceed in English?
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. Yang Arif, a brief background on the academic qualifications of the petitioner, Yang Arif. The petitioner was born in the year of 1994 in Ipoh, Perak, to Mr. Subramaniam and the late Madam Hemalata Arumugam. He is the youngest of 4 siblings. He completed his secondary education in ACS Ipoh, as a prestigious school, I believe, and obtained his Bachelor of Law in the year of 2020. Prior to that, Yang Arif, he had a brief opportunity to do a legal attachment at this firm called Gerard Lazarus and Associates. And I believe he literally cut his teeth, Yang Arif, because that would be a very heavily litigated litigation firm, Yang Arif. So he then commenced his pupillage at Messiah Francis Pereira and Shan under the tutelage of Mr. Kumaresan, whom I personally know. And I trust that the 9 months he has gone through would be invaluable, Yang Arif. And he would soon embark on a new journey, Yang Arif, which I trust will enable him even further his career in law, Yang Arif. Yang Arif, the petitioner take this opportunity to express his deepest gratitude to his parents, Mr. Subramaniam and the late mother, Madam Hemalata, whom we trust is watching from the heavens above, and which I think while preparing this speech, the petition would have been quite emotional, but nonetheless encouraged, Yang Arif, by the support given by the parents, in particular the late mother. Yang Arif, just a brief words of thanks the petitioner has for his 3 siblings, Winatan, Prewina, and Premala, for the support, and also to his sister-in-law Chan Yishi and brother-in-law Jaya and Sunil. Yang Arif, I personally have engaged with the petitioner as our firms are situated fairly close, Yang Arif. And I can vouch that given the few opportunities I have engaging with the petitioner, he gives very concise, very articulate replies. And I trust that definitely, Yang Arif, he can advance his career in law. And interestingly, Yang Arif, the petitioner just informed me yesterday that he actually has some brief working experience in a company providing ambulance services to hospitals. So I was taken aback and said, wow, hopefully that, because when we talk about ambulance, the sense of urgency to ferry patients is of utmost importance. So I trust that being in a company that supports all these hospitals, his sense of urgency would be invaluable. And in particular, especially when meeting deadlines for written submissions, Yang Arif. So hopefully that sense of urgency will carry him through. But unfortunately, Yang Arif, I had to remind him that unlike an ambulance, which at most of the time has their right of way, I reminded him that in litigation, he might not have the same opportunity, but again, he will learn and become a far more better advocate for that, Yang Arif. With that, Yang Arif, I believe that the petitioner has basically expressed his, again, his valuable appreciation to his master and also to certain friends. Please bear with me, Arif. Nissan, Mishan, Kamilan, Janagan, Dini, Rao, Roshmini, Bashri, Bavutri, and Ashini, and Vinish and Sean, Arif. I've shortened their names. So with that, Arif, I trust that the petitioner would be, in my humble opinion, a fit and proper person, Arif, to be admitted to the bar. So dengan ini yang Arif, saya sesungguhnya berhujah bahawa Pempetisyen adalah seorang yang wajar dan sesuai untuk diterima masuk sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Saya juga yakin bahawa kesemua kertas adalah teratur dan bahawa rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang mewakili agensi-agensi yang lain tiada sebarang bantahan untuk petition ini, Arif. So dengan ini saya pohon perintah sebagai pohon, ya, untuk lampiran 1. Ya.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jabatan Peguam Negara tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana pihak-pihak tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan dan oleh kerana surat cara adalah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Keten anak lelaki Subramaniam sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Keten anak lelaki Subramaniam dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif. Yang Arif, dengan izin saya mohon kepada Mahkamah Mulia ini untuk menjemput Pempetisyen untuk menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
Tanya.
Izin Yang Arif, Pempetisyen ke-7, nombor Pempetisyen WA18-1500-10-2020, Nur Syahirah binti Osman. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Nur Syahirah binti Osman, Pempetisyen ke-7.
Persilakan Cikgu Udip.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Cikgu Udip Kumar Yang Arif hadir bagi pihak Pempetisyen Nur Syahirah binti Osman pada hari ini. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili yang berbahagia Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur yang telah pun diperkenalkan awal tadi. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya memohon kebenaran Yang Arif untuk meneruskan hujah saya di dalam bahasa Inggeris, Yang Arif.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif. My Lord, may I introduce the petition, Nur Syahirah binti Osman. The petitioner was born on the 1st February 1997 in Johor Bahru and is the fourth and last child of Mr. Osman bin Seman and Mrs. Miriam binti Osman. The petitioner had her early education in SK Nong Chek before continuing her secondary education in SMKP Sultan Abu Bakar in Johor. Motivated by her desire to give a voice to the poor and disenfranchised, petitioner has set her mind on becoming a lawyer since she was 16. She aspires to provide legal representation to those disadvantaged by poverty and use the law as a tool to protect the vulnerable groups in the society. The petitioner read law at the University of Technology Mara, and soon after the petitioner commenced her pupillage in Messiah's Harmi Yusof and Azdi under the tutelage of Mr. Azdi. Today, the petitioner wishes to take this opportunity to express her utmost gratitude to her family. She would like to thank her parents for their unwavering support and encouragement, without which she would not have been able to achieve any of the milestones in her life. Her parents never ceased to believe in her, even in the face of failure, and constantly push her to achieve great heights in life. No words can express how thankful the petitioner is to her parents for their love and sacrifices. The petitioner would like to thank the pupil master, Mr. Azli bin Dato Abdul Manaf, for providing her with the opportunities and guidance throughout her privilege and for believing in the petitioner even when the petitioner is not at her best moments. The petitioner is ever so grateful to Ms. Larissa, who has been a mentor to the petitioner, guiding her through pupillage with such patience and grace. The petitioner would like to specifically thank her friends, Aina Dalila, Nur Kairanisa, Sabira, Intan Hanis, Afika, and Sarah Zahidi for always being there for her to make the tough times bearable, as well as to the one who never fails to see the good in the petitioner, Mr. Ibrahim Eksan. Finally, the petitioner would like to thank all her colleagues at Harmi Yusof and Azli for making her experience there a memorable one. Yang Arif, the petitioner would like to take some time to congratulate her fellow petitioners on this joyous occasion today. This journey personally to the petitioner has not been easy, and for the petitioner to make it to this day is something worth celebrating. Congratulations, everyone. Yang Arif, I believe the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor for this honorable court. I believe the petitioner's papers are in order and that my learned friends from the Attorney General's Chambers, the Bar Council, and the Kuala Lumpur Bar Committee, respectively, have no objection to this motion. I humbly move this honorable court to admit and enroll the petitioner Nur Shahira binti Othman as an advocate and solicitor of the High Court of Malaya.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jabatan Peguam Negara tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan terhadap petisyen ini, dan oleh kerana semua kertas-kertas kausa adalah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Nur Shahira binti Osman sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya, dan juga memerintahkan nama Nur Shahira binti Osman dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Dengan izin, saya mohon dan menjemput Pempetisyen menjubah diri sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Masuk.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Tahniah.
Terima kasih kepada kesemua wakil jabatan dan peguam pengusaha. Tahniah diucapkan kepada semua pempetisyen yang telah didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Diminta sekali lagi diingatkan agar tuan-puan kekal di kedudukan masing-masing dan tidak menutup video walaupun setelah selesai ucapan dari Yang Arif Hakim. Dengan ini saya menjemput Yang Arif Hakim untuk memberikan ucapan. Dengan izin Yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Tuan Muhammad Ashraf bin Shahabuddin, Peguam Persekutuan yang mewakili Peguam Negara Malaysia, Encik Iskandar Putra bin Ishaq yang mewakili Majlis Peguam, dan Encik Mahendra Naidu, anak lelaki Rama Santanam yang mewakili Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur, serta tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang dapat mengikuti sidang ini dari dalam talian. Izinkan saya memberikan sedikit ucapan kepada peguam-peguam baru yang kita raikan pada pagi ini. Sekali lagi saya mengucapkan tahniah kepada Encik Sharina binti Khairul Suman, Encik Izra Ravin Ponodore, Encik Filia Lim Zin Yi, Encik Song bin Wen, Encik Muhammad Faizul Izwan bin Muhammad Nordin, Encik Kerten anak lelaki Subramaniam dan Encik Nur Shahirah binti Osman setelah diterima masuk sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Walaupun kita sudah berada di dalam peringkat endemik COVID-19, setakat ini Badan Kehakiman masih belum bersedia untuk kembali kepada norma asal, iaitu petisyen kemasukan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara diadakan secara fizikal di mahkamah terbuka. Tetapi di dalam masa yang sama, pengendalian petisyen ini secara Zoom adalah juga memberikan satu dimensi baru kerana ahli keluarga atau sahabat handai, pempetisyen yang berada dari jauh, termasuk dari luar negara, dapat mengikuti sesi ini secara dalam talian. Oleh itu, sesi secara dalam talian ini mempunyai kelebihannya yang tersendiri. Dengan menyalurkan jubah atau barrister's gown, tadi tuan-tuan dan puan-puan bolehlah memperkenalkan diri sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya selepas nama tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Profesion lain yang lazimnya meletakkan di hadapan sebelum nama masing-masing, seperti doktor dengan DR, jurutera dengan IR, arkitek dengan ER, dan juruukur bahan dengan SR. Tapi profesion undang-undang memperkenalkan diri mereka selepas nama masing-masing. Barangkali benarlah mereka ini unik kerana di dalam di antara kalimah Latin yang mula dipelajari oleh seorang pelajar undang-undang selain daripada obiter dicta, ratio desidendi, voluntae dan fit injuria adalah perkataan sui generis yang bermaksud unik. With your admission to the High Court of Malaya and subject to the issuance of Sijil, Annual and Practicing Certificate, you now have the exclusive right to appear and plead in all courts of justice in Malaysia according to the law enforced in those courts. This is expressly provided for under Section 35 of the Legal Profession Act 1976. It means that even the most senior Queen's Counsel from England does not have the right of audience in the Malaysian courts unless he or she, just like you today, be admitted first, albeit on the ad hoc basis, to the Malaysian bar. One aspect of good advocacy, especially in the field of criminal law, is always that you have to visit the crime site. Never rely solely on the photographs supplied to you by the DPP before the commencement of the trial. Interview as many people that are connected to the case. If need be, get the opinion of the ballistic expert or forensic psychologist to assist you in preparing your case. Always remember that you are defending somebody whose life and liberty is at stake. In short, prepare your case from every angle. The worst thing that could happen to a counsel is to be referred to as incompetent. It could lead to a conviction being quashed on appeal. While it may be good for your client, the stigma of being referred to as incompetent counsel will live forever. The Federal Court in Shamin Reza against bin Abdul Samad against PP 2011 1 MLJ 471 FC had laid down the position as follows, and I quote, "The incompetence of counsel in the conduct of a defense in a criminal trial is a ground on which a conviction may be quashed, provided that, one, such incompetence must be flagrant in the circumstances of the given case, and two, it must have deprived the accused of a fair trial, thereby occasioning a miscarriage of justice. I think short will suffice. Being described as flagrantly incompetent by a superior court is not good for your career development. Trust me, you will never recover. I could not have put it better than the learned Chief Justice in a recent federal court case of Yahya Hussein Mohsin Abdul Rab against PP 2021 5 MLJ 811, when her ladyship said, and I quote, "Further, the assertion that an accused person would by design engage an incompetent counsel to secure an acquittal defies common sense and is in itself utterly devoid of any logic. We cannot imagine a case in which any lawyer would be willing to sacrifice his own reputation and credibility at the bar or before the bench to deliberately be incompetent in defending his client. We also cannot imagine any accused person agreeing to a strategy of sacrificing his counsel by calling him incompetent with the aim to having another set of counsel working to acquit him on that point alone." Unquote. Once you are in practice, you will be very busy, drafting the pleadings, affidavits, attending to the courts, preparing briefs for the senior counsel. But do not punish yourself. In between your busy practice, always take time off for yourself. Go and explore other things in life. Travel the world. offer pro bono services to the needy and the poor and destitute. That is the real job satisfaction. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, ahli-ahli keluarga dan rakan-rakan pempetisyen yang sempat mengikuti sesi ini di dalam talian. Sebagai seorang yang datang daripada Fakulti Undang-Undang, percayalah bahawa tidak mudah untuk lulus pengajian undang-undang dan juga kursus selepas ijazah undang-undang. Oleh itu, raikanlah kejayaan mereka pada hari ini. Kepada peguam-peguam pengusul, Mahkamah ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kerana meluangkan masa profesional tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya harap dilaksanakan secara percuma. Apa juga pilihan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan selepas ini, sama ada sebagai peguam Bela dan peguam Cara, in-house legal executive atau perkhidmatan undang-undang dan kehakiman, Mahkamah mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan selamat maju jaya dalam karier pilihan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. All the best, and whenever you are, please always stay safe. Thank you.
Terima kasih, Arif.